So on August 13th, Sunday, August 13th, from 8 to 10 a.m., I'm going to be hosting the largest one rental at a time event, which has 500 registered guests. I don't know if you guys know this, but that was completely inspired by this fine gentleman, Ty. How you doing, buddy?
I'm great, man. I'm excited. August 13th. I'm not surprised, but in a way I don't know what the right emotion is. It's in the area of surprise. In the area of disappointment a little bit, only that you announced it and it sold out. And I feel like there were a lot of my friends and people I wanted to promote to. And it just like you sold the thing out within a couple of days. 3 or 4 days.
Yeah,
So
under 4 days, 500 folks. It is free, right? So I'm sure free had a difference, but I actually think it was the topic. You inspired this, right? You and I were talking after I did that Silicon Valley event, and people were like, hey Zuber, could you do it again? What would you do today? And I speak at meetups because I want to know what the audience is doing. So you and I were talking, and you basically said in your very Thai way, what would you do?
right.
And it was like that just kind of like was an earworm to me. Now the event, we put it out there, people liked it. Now it's time to deliver, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So I wanted to, this is very, very raw. I'm recording it for everybody just to show how the sausage is made, right? I don't just want to come out with the finished product. I like sharing the journey with folks. So Ty, I want to share with you kind of my goal,
Yep.
show you the first couple of slides I put together just to see if I'm on the right track in your mind. Okay.
100%. Let's do it.
So the first thing I'm thinking about is I'm not going to cheat. I'm not going to talk about Fresno, California. I think that's cheating.
Okay.
Right. So I want to go back to the very beginning and talk about a brand new market. So we'll talk about which market that is in a minute. And again, I'm going to go back to the basics. So we're going to talk about the first 30 days. The first 30 days of this journey, I don't even have a buy box yet. That's how early we're going.
Yeah.
Right? The first 30 days is about getting to the point where you have a buy box. And then I'm going to talk about some basics. I don't want to be missed, and just that's kind of where my brain's at. That's kind of the Play-Doh or the putty I was playing with. How does that feel?
It feels right in that, a lot of people even still like they hear the word buy box, but they still like they kind of know, okay, yeah, I'm looking for a fixer upper. I'm looking for properties that cash flow. I'm looking for properties that are in a certain price range, but it's much, much more than that.
Yeah.
And I think also too, just for proximity for you and I, we're both Bay Area guys, California, San Francisco, Oakland, Bay Area. You're in the South Bay, which is way, way more expensive. I'm in the East Bay, still very expensive, compared to other markets across the country. But there's always, I think, this thing about like, well, you can't do it in California, like a generalized blanket statement. You did it in California. I'm doing it in California. So I think that, if, again, you go back to the very, very day one scratch, which we didn't rehearse this, the green screen, my studio, I'm halfway apart. I had camera difficulties. And Mike was like, hey, let's get on and let's just like freestyle a thing. And I'm like, cool, let's do it.
Yeah, let's go.
So we didn't rehearse this. It was Michael's organic idea to go, okay, and I didn't know what he was going to do, going all the way back to scratch to day one. Because I think that's where I think there's a lot of people that are honestly still stuck in just that part itself. What market do I start at?
Yeah. So we're going to do all of that. We're going to go back to the very beginning. And again, let me bring up the PowerPoint. Please don't judge it. It's very early, but I have to have your feedback as we pull this together. So you ready for this?
Let's do it.
All right, let me pull it up. So again, everything on this is subject to change. Everything on this is subject to feedback. I have nothing here is even close to a finished product, but this is basically the title, how to get started one rental at a time today. So this is what I'm thinking the agenda is going to be. And again, add to, subtract, whatever you want. First thing I want people to realize is I hope nothing in this session is a surprise. If you watch my channel, I give everything away. You do have to
Yep.
watch a lot of videos. You gotta organize it to get it. But everything I hopefully say has been covered somewhere, probably a dozen times. That is a hope I have.
Yep.
I'm going to go over some initial facts that I believe that I just want to level set because not everybody starts at the same point. So I want people to understand my base assumptions for what I'm going to build. I'm going to talk about some tactics that I would deploy if the opportunities present itself. Because again, the point is not only how I would start today, but how I would build something meaningful. So this isn't only day zero, but it's what I might do over the next 10 years. At least that's how I'm treating this. So we're gonna give you some things that I will be doing if they present itself.
Yep.
Then we get into the meat of it. What am I doing the first 30 or 45 days? I have no idea where I want to invest. I get the idea of a buy box, but I don't know what it is. What do I do those first 30 days, first 45 days? Shoot, maybe first 60 days. That's going to be kind of step one. We're going to go through that. And again, I'm going to go from step zero. I'm going to talk about exactly what I want you doing those first 30 or 45 days. Then step two, it is a buy box. Okay, now I got a buy box. Now I know my criteria. Now this is all I'm looking at. What do I do for the next 90 days? Then I'm going to talk about some tools that I would use now because I'm not only potentially looking at a new market, but I also might self-manage, right?
Yeah.
I'm just changing all this shit up. Let's just do this whole thing new. What would I use if I self-manage? And then you and I talked about an offer that I might roll out at the end of this. But again, I'm giving everything away. This is not about the offer, but there is something that we'll probably tease. I haven't actually created it yet, but it's something we'll tease. How does this flow feel?
It feels really good. And the thing that really occurred to me and kind of came to me as you're talking about this is that 99% of all the real estate experts, REI, investor, everyone in this space that's quote unquote an educator, a guru. I don't consider you a guru. I consider you a true educator, a community builder. But anybody in this space, I think they teach everything after this point. And this is interesting. And I think this is a really big distinction. And I didn't realize this I knew it intuitively, but not consciously the way that I'm going to state it now is that you actually teach all the real true foundational basics. Most people are teaching everything after this point, like looking at ROI, looking at, how to put together the financing, whether it's creative or you're going to burr it or you're going to whatever. A lot of people do everything after this. But the challenge is if you don't know step one and step two, the first 30 to 45 days, and really the 90 to 180 days, and really the buy box, if you don't know the starting point,
right,
all the other things really don't matter so much. And you're probably going to make mistakes. And that's the other thing is where I see people make a lot of mistakes. They get into deals that they shouldn't be in because they don't start with step one and step two. And even I can say myself, unless you have some dumb luck, I had some dumb luck in the beginning, but I also made a lot of mistakes also. So this is really important. I just realized that you teach something nobody else is teaching, which is even beyond foundational, like step one, step two, day one. Where do you really start? So this is really good. I didn't realize this consciously the way that we just unfolded.
Very cool. Well, let me just give you a taste of what a next slide might be. Again, I haven't even built this whole thing out, but this is an example of basic rules. I want everybody to be clear. I would house hack first if it fit my lifestyle, right? If I was at a point of starting this where house hacking was an option, that would be my first goal. It wouldn't be buying a rental. I want that to be very clear. Two, if I was to the point where my lifestyle, I could do a live-in flip and I could take advantage of that at 203K or something like that, I would look to do that. I would undoubtedly look to audit my expenses, needs versus wants. I call it dry powder. I would absolutely look to make more money, whether that's asking for a raise, getting out a commission-based job, or a side hustle. And then let's be very clear, this is all built on focus and daily discipline, 20 minutes a day. So again, I'll probably add more to this, but I want everybody to realize these are things I would start with And again, some people can house hack, some people can't. Some people want to, some people can't. But I want it to be clear where my mind is before we get into step one.
This is really good. And I love to, again, back to something nobody's talking about, auditing expenses, needs and wants, dry powder, how important it is to have a cap stack. Even just the idea of, I mean, everybody knows the term side hustle and all of that, but like to really make it a foundational part of your beginning on this journey, I think that's a really big deal. So again, not a lot of people are talking about it. I love it.
Yeah, so I think I got one more built out. So again, most of this will build out. I'm doing this very raw with you on purpose. I want people to be clear. Like my book, One Rental at a Time, talks about these. These would be part of my next 10 years. I'm going to recycle capital, right? I'm going to buy the first one. It's going to appreciate over time. I will take my money out and buy again. I will 1031 exchange if the opportunity presents itself. I will raise private money if the opportunity presents itself. I will flip if the opportunity presents itself. And without question, I will network, tell my buy box. These are all foundational things. This isn't Mike Zoo. Like when I wrote in my book, and I've said 100 times, the first 5 years of my journey originally, I made a mistake. I thought it was all me. So I want people to realize I'm now experienced. I'm going to be able to go faster. I'm going to be able to do more things. And these are some of the tools that I will be deploying when the opportunity presents itself.
Yeah, this is, I love it. And I love especially too, even that top point here of recycle capital. Like even when you say that, you just said that and it hit me like right between the eyes of, being a lazy landlord, being, where you just like, oh, just let the money just sit there or equity just sit there. And it's so easy to fall into that trap. Can you go back to I think it was slide 2?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, right there. So even like when you talk about live and flip is a great start if it fits your lifestyle. Even like that, I'm intrigued, and we don't even have to tease it. But the fact that you're talking like live and flip, I think I know what that means.
Yeah.
And you don't explain it. Let's leave it for the audience. But I think it's like even that, I'm like, how come I'm not doing that? Or how come, you know what I mean? Or how come you're right? Like I didn't even think of that as a strategy or tactic. Yeah. So, I mean, there's just little nuances here that I think you can fast track. I love it.
Yeah. So we'll be going through all these. I haven't built out any more slides. So let me go to the top and really talk about kind of, so step one, just to put it out here. Again, I'm going to be choosing a brand new market. I'm going to be choosing a market that I've chosen to buy a home in, which is Las Vegas, Nevada. I have never lived there. I'm going to treat Las Vegas like Fresno, and I'm going to outline exactly what I'm going to be doing the first 30 or 45 days once I'm there full time. It'll start now, but I'm going to paint the picture like what I'm going to be doing the first. I don't even know I have no idea. Vegas is huge. So I'm going to treat Vegas and tell you exactly what to do. Step one. That's going to lead me to finally having a buy box, where, what type, what thing, what this, what that, what, all of that. That'll be buy box 2. I'm going to talk about some tools that I would use. Cause again, I might actually self-manage. So I'll talk about Hemlane. I'm going to be using tools that weren't available to me before, like Privy, to go research the market and the buy box that people are telling me about. And then you and I are talking about doing a 13-week offer, but we'll leave that for another time. But this is where I'm at. This is what I'm thinking about.
This is exciting. And it's, and I just like literally the whole idea of like Las Vegas is to me like it's the ultimate Wild West.
Yeah,
right?
I have no idea.
Because you have no idea. You're moving there.
Yep.
You kind of know, okay, I'm going to live here. And that part of it. But then the surrounding areas and the opportunity. And the beauty is too, is that I used to own rentals there. And I have some experience there. It's a great market because it's transient. You got people that retire that come from the Midwest and they come there and they like it, but there are things they don't like. So they sell, they leave. It's a fluid market, I think. And it represents, I think it represents a tremendous opportunity. And I think for you to really I'm intrigued to see how you would do it from scratch. And because it's such a big place, I'm curious to see how you're going to pick the zip code, the parts of town, all of that, because I have some familiarity there.
Yeah.
So as a student, and I'm a guy that's been doing this a long time as a student, as a friend, as a part of your community.
Yeah.
I'm excited because you're talking about things I've heard about, but honestly, I don't even house hacking. I think I know what it is, but I'm not like, okay, how do you, okay, how would Michael do that? Like let's look at how you would do it. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited for the 13th. I'm excited for everything you're doing. I love the new revised, if I can call it, I don't know if anybody's deemed it yet, but it's like the Michael Zuber 2.0 or the Michael Zuber, maybe it's the Michael Zuber 5.0 because now that you're 50.
Right, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So maybe it's the Michael Zuber 5.0 and then it's like one rental at a time community 2.0. Like, I feel like there's a whole nother chapter. You're going to Vegas. You're going to do this new buy box. You're going to roll this all out. To me, this is ultra exciting. And you've already started intuitively. You started a makeover on the website, what you're doing with the course and community. I'm excited to be a part of it, a part of your community, man. So thank you.
Yeah. Again, this is just lots. Thank you for being a friend. I mean, you and I talk on the weekend sometimes. I know you got life and busy and business and all that. So thank you for that. But yeah, it really goes back to just answering your question is what do people ask you for?
Yeah.
So we're going to answer the question. And really what I hope people come out of this is it really is 2 steps. Step 1, you don't have a buy box yet. So how do you do that? When I built it the first time, it was very different, right? It was all word of mouth. Today, there are some tools that I would absolutely use to verify and tweak things. So it's going to be fun. I have a lot of work ahead of me to kind of build this out and get the story down. I'm excited. I want to thank you for kind of pushing me to do this.
What one request is that for the audience right now, if you're watching this, if you're listening to this, I want to encourage you that if you are one of the lucky 500, I keep saying this, it's sold out within days. I didn't even get to share and promote it to my personal friends and things that I thought I would. It's sold out because it's free. It was only 500 seats. So if you're one of the lucky 500, you make damn sure that you get there early, get logged in, make sure your tech's right, all of that. But also, if you're not one of the lucky 500, I'm twisting Michael's arm.
You are.
I'm saying that there needs to be an encore, but it needs to show up in the comments. So either DM Michael on Instagram, Facebook, or in the comments here, but reach out if you were not one of the lucky 500 that have a seat or have that you registered for was it on Eventbrite?
It was, yeah, Eventbrite. Yep.
It was on Eventbrite. If you did not register for this, it's important that you speak up because I'm trying to twist his arm to do a second encore. And I personally prefer to do it as a live thing, not a recorded, but
me too.
We'll see. We'll see how it turns out. But if you're interested, you need to speak up in the comments here on YouTube, like the video, subscribe, but comment, let Michael know that you want him to do an encore because it's sold out because you're not one of the 500. So
I will tell you this right now. If we get 50 people in the comments below that just say yes, yes, please, or another event or whatever you want to say, 50. If we get 50 people by Friday, I will do another event. How about that?
I love it. 50 people. There you go. You got it. And I would say collectively, because we've been talking about this on 3 different shows.
Sure.
So 50 plus of you community, because we know you guys are all the same watt. You guys are the most active. If you're watching this and you're still on right now, you see value in this. Comment or DM him so that we can get an encore.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate you. Thank you for giving me a half hour.
Appreciate you.